In the previous meditation session, we learned two important lessons. The first is that anyone can meditate, since there is no block that prevents some people from doing it or that makes others more capable. It would be enough just to sit and relax, and that's it. The second is that there is nothing difficult, weird, dangerous, or that you should be afraid of. You have already meditated in the last session, and as you can see, you did it without any difficulty. Now that you have overcome those preconceptions about meditation, we can move on. The reasons why we should meditate every day are many. Every day we have 1,000 thoughts in our heads, frustrations and indecisions. We are constantly bugged with thoughts that remind us what we have to do during the day. The problem is that we get consumed by the many activities that are triggered in our brain, and we end up forgetting what is really important. Just like everyone else, each of us is busy with more and more things to do every day. We have to go to work, clean the house, cook, look after children if we have them, so we finish our days without obtaining anything new. This is a problem. How do we think we can realize ourselves if we don't change our daily life? We have thousands of ideas in our head. We would like to travel, start a business, write a book, or realize ourselves in a specific field. But as time goes by, we continue to get screwed from the usual routine that traps us from morning to night in a continuous circle out of which we cannot get out. If we start putting aside some thoughts that aren't important to make room for those that would make us fulfill ourselves, our life would evolve. Many times the term change scares people because it is thought that changing one's life means neglecting family, ignoring one's children, or making hazardous moves like abandoning a job that maintains us. The change is meant to be positive for the person who makes it, not the opposite. So to change means to eliminate burdens from one's life to make room for satisfactions. Children aren't a burden, so no one has to put them aside, but you can take care of them and realize yourself in your life at the same time, because one thing doesn't exclude the other. What matters is simply the organization. The more a person is able to organize himself, the more he will be able to carry forward his goals over time, despite having a family to provide for, a social life, a demanding job, or any problem that may steal some time. It is really difficult to create an organized agenda of one's own things to do if the order is not found in the mind first. The main point on which each of us should work is precisely to bring order in our heads. What do you want to do today? Obviously, you will be reminded of 1,000 commitments to be carried out, while knowing very well that by filling up your day with activities, you will end up without doing anything at all. This will lead you to say that you will never make it, that as long as you have that problem or that distraction in your life, you will never be able to take care of yourself. If it is about children, you will think that until they are older, you will not be able to do what you love because they will steal all the time, and you, as a parent, are destined to fail in all the rest of your projects, as if you have a cross on your back that you will have to drag forever. It's not like that. There is a technique which has been used for thousands of years, which helps a person's mind putting aside the futile commitments to bring out the ones that are really important for their fulfillment. It's not a magic technique like an animation fill formula in which by pronouncing certain words you will be teleported into a new world where your life will be completely different. It's simply about relaxing. Nowadays, everyone is talking about this technique, but everyone reinvents it as they see fit, making it almost seem like it's something new, discovered in this era. The truth is, meditation is a very old technique, used by men since the dawn of time, which allows you to relax your mind so that it can finally start working well. People who will use it may decide to go far beyond simple relaxation, but this is a personal choice that each of us must do for ourselves. The main purpose is to put order in your mind so that you can put it in your life. We can imagine our mind as a large container full of information. Since there's a huge quantity and each information wants to appear and be seen first, they overlap and throw themselves on top of each other to be noticed. It's as if there's a big fight inside your head where every piece of information is convinced that it's the most important of all, and they fight with each other to win your attention. These are all the activities that you should have done or that you would like to achieve, but which you keep putting aside with the typical illusion that says, "One day I will do it." How many projects have you thought of realizing, but you have left halfway saying, "I will do it in the future"? Well, all those projects are now present in your mind and are rebelling. They fight against each other to be the first to be chosen so that you can finally conclude them. Every day, these thoughts cause you trouble, preventing you from having a problem-free mind and making it a total chaos instead. This way, you will not handle the activities that are truly important to you, but will end up handling the ones that first managed to get noticed, only because they hit harder than others. This doesn't mean that they are the most important, they are only the heaviest. The human brain is an incredibly powerful computer that science wants to imitate, but has no hope of making it, because we humans are able to react to our thoughts, associate them with feelings and memories. We can even decide to suddenly overturn the path of our lives, also changing our way of thinking. A robot cannot do it because it was created to obey, but we are not robots. Our mental skills allow us to decide what to do with our lives, making us aware of what is really important to us and allowing us to distinguish it from what we think it is, only because someone else has forced us to believe it. Other times, we follow the crowd because if everyone chooses a specific path and we are the only ones not to do it, just to be accepted by the mass, we surrender to them and we let them influence us. Sometimes we are weak and behave like everyone else just to be accepted by the society in which we live. But we are lucky enough to pass on our knowledge to our children, who will hand it over to theirs, who will spread it among their loved ones, making sure that something important is never forgotten. Meditation is the key that allows every person to feel good about themselves, without having to follow schemes that those above us decide that we follow, or make us perform actions that we do not like. Meditation is the mirror that makes us look straight into our eyes and say, "Here's who I am, I had forgotten. I thought I was identical to the others." We must not associate meditation with those who practice it. We can think we don't want to become like Buddhist monks who deprive themselves of a social life to spend their time meditating, but no one imposes this. We must not think that meditation will turn us into prophets or fanatics of peace and love if we don't feel like following that path inside of us. Meditation is only a technique. You are the one who decides how to use it and what you want to achieve with it. It's not the technique itself to decide for you. Does your car decide where to take you? No, you are the one who drives it. For that same reason, make sure you decide where you want to lead your life and not vice versa. Personally, I practice meditation because it helps me focus on what is really useful for my life, removing my attention from what would be a waste of time, even if at the beginning it may seem appealing. So I started with the first level called Meditation in Non-Thought, and then continued with another one called Meditation on Chakras. This was my personal choice, and everyone has to choose for themselves what they think is the best way. Meditation is not something strange, mysterious, or dangerous. It's simply a matter of relaxing one's own mind and body. It doesn't matter if you're atheist or religious, since relaxation in non-thought has nothing to do with worship or faith. Meditative practice can be carried out by anyone because it is a personal choice that is used only for relaxation and physical well-being. It must not necessarily be associated with the search for God or to evolve one's psychic abilities, if this is not the true interest of the person who practices. Meditation is simply a technique, and you decide which destination to reach through it. I have chosen to use the second level to find my answers and evolve spiritually, but this remains my personal choice and you will have to make yours. The first level of meditation is based on relaxation in non-thought. This technique at first may not seem simple because it asks us to do something that we are no longer used to do, remain in mental silence. The technique of non-thinking doesn't have to be misunderstood, believing that from now on, For all your life, you will have to stop reflecting, becoming a person without intelligence. The non-thought stands for that mental relaxation that you can achieve by choice when you feel it is necessary. For example, when you have your head full of 1,000 things to do and you are suffering from migraine for having way too many thoughts in your head. At that point, non-thought comes into motion. Meditation is much closer to human nature than the modern society around us is. It is something natural for our body, but we simply forgot how to do it. When we were children, it was natural to run, to do splits, to twist in incredible ways, and know how to make movements that we only dream of as adults. Yet the body is naturally predisposed to do those activities. In fact, when we were kids, we knew how to do it without any problems. Just because now we are a little out of practice and can no longer do somersaults, this doesn't mean that it's an unnatural movement for the human being, because it would be a trivial excuse not to admit that the problem is only the lack of training due to our laziness. In the same way, non-thinking is not something unnatural, but it is something that we normally did as children, and only later, little by little, we forgot to keep this ability active, atrophying our mind muscles. The moment we realize that it's not strange, but that it is all natural, it will be much easier to accept a new habit in our life. Practice of meditation works because incorporating it into our routine allows us to be more and more conscious during our days, making us realize what we want to do and making it stand out from what we should do according to others. This is a difference that not everyone can grasp because they have been accustomed since they were children that the wishes of others should automatically become ours. Many people are just a representation of their parents, their professors, or their friends, but they are not themselves. Non-thought, little by little, will make you recognize and distinguish who you are from those masks you thought you were, just because they were so well imposed that you could no longer recognize them as something external. You implemented them in your personality. The non-thought allows you to react, to remove what is not yours, to recognize who or what is really you. Something incredibly powerful compared to the idea that you had made of your image. So let's start with the first step of meditation. If you wish, take it right now by following my instructions step by step. Sit in a comfortable position, away from any distractions and noise. Certainly do not do the meditation with the TV on. All you have to do now is focus only on your breathing. Without counting them in words, follow each inhalation and exhalation as if they were beginning to slow down. Breathe and concentrate only on your breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Imagine being able to see your lungs spread out, feeding on clean oxygen. There is nothing else around you except for the light you are breathing into your lungs. Imagine breathing in a white light that fills up your lungs, making you feel good. Slow down your breathing and make it deeper. Feel as if everything around you is slowing down. Hurry no longer exists. There is only a slow and conscious breath. Focus only on your breath. Feel the shoulders relax. Don't be tense. The neck relaxes. The head melts while remaining straight. The arms become heavy. The legs follow, and the whole body becomes heavy. It is relaxing as if it wants to fall asleep. every thought is futile. There is no more important thought now than the wish to relax. Imagine breathing in a white light that enters and expands into what your mind is. Your mind becomes light, free. It fills up with light. There is no obstacle that prevents light from entering. Relax. Focus only on the well-being you are feeling. From this moment, relax by closing your eyes without thinking about anything, focusing only on the well-being you are feeling. How did you feel? You can perform this technique as many times as you wish. It has no side effects. In fact, the more you will practice it during your days, the more you will realize that, coincidentally, your way of thinking will work better. This is not a coincidence, of course. Allowing your brain to breathe a moment without having to think of 1,000 problems, you will give it the opportunity to better connect the synapses in the true sense of the word, enabling it to find a solution for each problem way faster. You will notice the difference, as it used to be much harder to do so before. The solution must be immediate, and when this does not happen, it is because the mind is too stressed to understand immediately which is the method to solve a specific problem. So meditation helps our attention to focus on its incredible ability to find solutions in a flash, putting aside all the other thoughts that for the moment are just a hindrance. Meditation is used for this, to give our brain a moment to breathe so that it works better. There is nothing healthier and more normal than relaxation. This is why my advice is to do it at least once a day, every day. If beyond relaxation you're looking for something even deeper, such as a connection with yourself or God, Then you will also be interested in reading about meditation on chakras. Meditation in non-thought will be much more useful than you'd imagined, especially when you need to remove annoying and painful thoughts that you can't seem to get rid of. You will learn to exploit this technique to your own advantage, so that nothing can make you suffer anymore. It will be your secret weapon. To learn more about us, you can visit our website dimensionalconsciousnessacademy.com. See you soon.